Captain Sarah Chen thought it was going to be another boring day. She was sitting in her small ship, the New Hope, floating in the dark space near the outer rim. Her job was simple: check on the empty areas of space and make sure everything was normal. It was peaceful work, and Sarah liked it that way. "Computer, run another scan," she said, sipping her coffee. The machine beeped softly and started checking the area around her ship. Sarah had been doing this job for 3 years now. Ever since the Galactic Council had welcomed humans into their big family of alien races, life had been good. Humans were spreading across the galaxy, starting new colonies, making new friends. The Council said they would protect all human settlements and help them grow. Sarah believed them. Everyone did. The computer finished its scan. "All clear, Captain," it said in its calm voice. "No ships, no signals, no problems." Sarah nodded and was about to move to the next area when something strange happened. A small light blinked on her control panel. It was the emergency signal detector, something she had never seen light up before. "Computer, what's that signal?" "Checking now, Captain," the computer replied. "It appears to be a human distress call." Sarah sat up straight. A human distress call? Out here in empty space? That didn't make sense. According to all the maps, there were no human colonies anywhere near this area. "Can you clean up the signal? Make it clearer." "Working on it, Captain." The speakers crackled with static. Then slowly voices began to come through. Sarah's blood went cold when she heard them. They were children's voices. "Please, someone help us." A small voice whispered through the static. "Mommy said the nice aliens would take care of us," another child said, crying. "But they're not nice. They hurt people." Sarah's hands started shaking. She turned up the volume, trying to hear better. "They came in the night," a young boy's voice said. "They said we were going to a better place. But this place is scary. They put people in boxes and take them away." "Jenny's mom went in a box yesterday," a girl said sadly. "She didn't come back." Sarah felt sick. What was happening? Where were these children? And why was no one helping them? The signal got stronger. More voices joined in. "They call it the harvest," an older child said, maybe 10 years old. "They harvest people like we used to harvest corn back home." "The pretty alien lady said we were special," another voice whispered. "She said humans had something inside them that other aliens needed." Sarah was typing fast on her computer, trying to trace where the signal was coming from. Her heart was beating so hard she could hear it in her ears. Then she heard something that made her stop breathing. "Tommy Peterson is gone," a child said. "They took him this morning." Sarah knew that name. Tommy Peterson was from New Haven Colony. According to the official reports, New Haven Colony had been successfully relocated to a better planet 6 months ago. The Galactic Council had said it was for their own safety. But these children were talking about Tommy like he was here, wherever here was. "Lisa Chang from Bright Star Colony is here too," another voice said. "She says her whole family got taken." Bright Star Colony. Sarah remembered reading about them. Another successful relocation according to the council. The signal was getting clearer now. Sarah could hear more children talking. They were mentioning names and places, all from human colonies that had supposedly been moved to safer locations by their alien friends. "Computer," Sarah said, her voice shaking, "trace this signal. I need to know exactly where it's coming from." "Signal traced, Captain. The source is—" "That's strange." "What?" "The signal is coming from the Kepler 442 system. But according to all official records, that system is empty. No colonies, no life." Sarah stared at the screen. Empty? But she could hear dozens of human children crying for help from that exact location. "Set course for Kepler 442, maximum speed." "Captain, that system is marked as restricted by the Galactic Council. We need special permission to—" "I don't care about permission," Sarah shouted. "There are human children in trouble." As her ship turned toward the Kepler 442 system, Sarah heard one more voice through the speakers. It was a little girl, maybe 5 years old. "My name is Emma Wilson," the child said quietly. "If anyone can hear this, please tell my daddy I'm scared. Tell him the harvest men took us from Paradise Colony. Tell him." The signal cut out. Sarah gripped her chair so hard her knuckles turned white. Paradise Colony had been relocated just 2 weeks ago. The council had sent a nice message to Earth, saying everyone was safe and happy in their new home. But Emma Wilson wasn't safe. None of them was safe. and Sarah was going to find out why. Sarah's ship flew through space faster than it had ever gone before. The Kepler 442 system was 3 hours away, but those 3 hours felt like forever. She kept hearing Emma Wilson's scared little voice in her head. "Tell my daddy I'm scared." When Sarah finally reached the system, her computer started beeping with warnings. "Captain, I'm detecting a large structure on the third planet, but according to all official maps, this planet should be empty." Sarah looked at her screen. The planet below looked dead. No green plants, no blue oceans, just grey rock and dust. But her sensors were showing something big on the surface. "Take us down," she ordered. "Captain, this is a restricted area. The Galactic Council. I don't care what the Council says." Sarah snapped. "Those children need help." Her ship landed behind some large rocks, hidden from view. Sarah put on her spacesuit and stepped outside. The planet felt cold and wrong. There were no birds singing, no wind blowing, just silence. She followed her scanner toward the big structure. What she found made her stomach sick. It was huge, like a factory, but wrong. The walls were made of strange metal that seemed to move and breathe. There were no windows, just one big door with alien symbols on it. Sarah found a small crack in the wall. She crawled through it, trying not to make any noise. Inside, the building was even worse. Long hallways stretched in every direction. Strange blue lights made everything look scary. And the smell, it smelled like fear and sadness. Sarah followed the sound of voices deeper into the building. She passed many doors, and behind each one she could hear crying. Human crying. She found a room with a small window and looked inside. Her heart nearly stopped. There were hundreds of humans inside. Men, women, children, all sitting on the floor looking scared and tired. They wore simple grey clothes. Some were crying quietly. Others just stared at nothing. Sarah recognized some faces from the news reports. These were people from the relocated colonies. People who were supposed to be safe and happy in their new homes. "Oh my God," Sarah whispered. She kept moving, taking pictures with her camera. In the next room, she found something even worse. Aliens in white coats were doing tests on humans. They were taking blood, scanning their bodies, writing notes. One alien looked up and saw a human woman on the table. "This one has good quality," it said in perfect English. "The buyers on Zerion Prime will pay well for her." Buyers? Sarah felt sick. They were selling humans like animals. She kept exploring, getting more evidence. She found records on alien computers, thousands of human names, ages, and something called harvest value. She found shipping lists showing humans being sent to different planets across the galaxy. The worst part was a meeting room where she could hear alien voices talking. "The humans still don't know," one voice said. "Earth's government thinks their people are safe in new colonies." "Good," another voice replied. "The Galactic Council is doing excellent work keeping them quiet. As long as Earth believes the lie, we can keep harvesting." "How many more can we take before they notice?" "The Council says we can take another 1,000,000 before we need to slow down. Humans breed fast so they won't miss them." They laughed. Sarah had to put her hand over her mouth to stop herself from screaming. She downloaded everything she could from their computers. Names, locations, shipping records, financial data. All the proof she needed. But as she was leaving, she heard something that made her blood freeze. "Alert! Alert!" a computer voice announced. "New harvest ships departing for Earth in 6 hours. Target: New Tokyo Colony, Mars Base 7, and Luna City." Sarah ran as fast as she could back to her ship. They were going to take more humans. Tonight. She started her engines and flew away from the planet as quickly as possible. But as she reached space, her computer started beeping again. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple ships approaching this system." Sarah looked at her screen. 5 large alien warships were coming toward Kepler 442. But that wasn't the worst part. "Computer, where are those ships going after they leave here?" The computer calculated their course. "Destination: Earth, Captain." Sarah's hands shook as she realized the truth. The harvest wasn't just some secret operation taking a few humans here and there. It was big, organized, and it was about to get much worse. And the Galactic Council, the aliens who promised to protect humanity, they were the ones running it. Sarah looked at all the evidence she had collected. Photos of humans in cages, records of sales, shipping lists, everything. She had to warn Earth. She had to tell everyone the truth. But as she set course for home, one terrible thought kept repeating in her mind. Would anyone believe her? Sarah's ship raced toward Earth faster than she had ever flown before. Every minute counted. The harvest ships were coming, and millions of humans had no idea what was about to happen to them. She sent emergency signals to Earth Defense Command as soon as she got close enough. "This is Captain Sarah Chen. I have urgent information about a threat to humanity. I need to speak to the Defense Council immediately." The response came quickly. "Captain Chen, report to Earth Defense Headquarters at once." Sarah landed her ship and ran into the building. Her clothes were dirty, her hair was messy, and her eyes were red from not sleeping. But she didn't care how she looked. She only cared about saving people. General Morrison, the head of Earth's defense forces, was waiting for her in a big meeting room. Around the table sat important people, politicians, military officers, and alien advisors from the Galactic Council. "Captain Chen," General Morrison said, "you've caused quite a stir with your emergency signals." "What's this about?" Sarah took a deep breath. "Sir, the Galactic Council is lying to us. They're not protecting our colonies. They're selling our people." The room went quiet. Then several people started talking at once. "That's impossible," said Senator Williams. "Captain, that's a very serious accusation," General Morrison said slowly. Sarah quickly set up her computer and showed them the evidence. Photos of humans in cages, records of sales, the alien facility. Everything. "This is from Kepler 442, she said. "The system that's supposed to be empty. There are thousands of our people there being prepared for sale to other alien races." The alien advisor, a tall blue creature named Zefkar, stood up. "I am deeply offended by these accusations. The Galactic Council has always protected human interests." "Then explain this." Sarah showed them the shipping records. Names of people from colonies that were supposedly relocated safely. Children crying for help. General Morrison looked uncomfortable. "Captain, these could be fake. Computer graphics are very advanced these days." "Fake?" Sarah couldn't believe what she was hearing. "Sir, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes." Senator Williams leaned forward. "Captain Chen, do you understand what you're asking us to believe? That our closest allies, the ones who brought us into the galactic community, are secretly betraying us?" "Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying." "But that doesn't make sense," said another politician. "We have trade agreements with them. Peace treaties. They've helped us build our colonies." Zefkar nodded sadly. "Captain Chen seems to be suffering from space stress. Long flights alone can cause hallucinations." Sarah felt anger rising in her chest. "I'm not hallucinating. I have proof." "This proof could be made by anyone," General Morrison said. "The Council has been nothing but helpful to humanity. They've given us technology, protected our ships, guided our expansion. Because they were preparing us for harvest," Sarah shouted. The room went silent again. Everyone looked at her like she was crazy. Zefkar spoke in a gentle voice. "Captain Chen, perhaps you should take some rest. The stress of space exploration can be very difficult." "I don't need rest." Sarah slammed her hand on the table. "I need you to listen. They're coming for more colonies tonight." General Morrison sighed. "Captain, even if what you're saying were true, which I don't believe it is, we can't risk our relationship with the Council based on one person's claims." "One person's claims?" Sarah stared at him. "I have recordings of their voices. I have their computers' files." "Files that could be faked," Senator Williams said. "Captain, we've invested too much in our alliance with the Council to throw it away because of conspiracy theories." Sarah looked around the room. No one believed her. They all thought she was lying or crazy. Even worse, she could see that some of them didn't want to believe her. The truth was too scary, too big, too difficult. "Fine," she said quietly. "If you won't act officially, then I'll have to warn people myself." General Morrison stood up. "Captain Chen, I'm ordering you not to spread these stories." "That's an order." "With respect, sir, I refuse." "Then you're relieved of duty." "Security, escort Captain Chen out." Two soldiers stepped forward, but Sarah was already walking toward the door. She turned back one last time. "When those harvest ships arrive tonight and our people start disappearing, remember this moment. Remember that you had the chance to save them." Outside the building, Sarah sat in her ship and made a decision. If the government wouldn't warn people, she would do it herself. She accessed the emergency broadcast system and sent her message to every human colony in the galaxy. "Attention all human settlements. This is Captain Sarah Chen. I have discovered that the Galactic Council is not protecting us. They're harvesting us. Do not trust alien ships offering relocation. Prepare to defend yourselves." She included all her evidence with the message. Within hours, her broadcast reached every human colony, every space station, every ship in the galaxy. And something began to wake up in the human race. Something that had been sleeping since they joined the galactic community. Something that the aliens were about to regret awakening. Sarah's broadcast spread across the galaxy like fire. Every human colony, every space station, every mining ship received her message. And something changed in the human race that day. Something the aliens had never seen before. On Mars colony, mining engineer Jake Roberts was fixing a drill when the message came through. He listened to Sarah's words, saw her evidence, and looked at the alien supervisor who had been helping them for months. "Hey, Veltor," Jake said calmly, still holding his plasma cutter. "Why don't you tell me more about those safety inspections you've been doing?" The alien looked nervous. "I don't understand what you mean, Jake." "Sure you do." Jake's voice was quiet, but there was something cold in it. Something that made the alien step backward. "Those inspections where you take our people away to check their health, where are they really going?" On Europa Station, farmer Lisa Martinez got the broadcast while she was feeding her chickens. She had always been a peaceful woman, kind to everyone. But as she watched Sarah's evidence, her face went hard. Her alien advisor, Krixnar, appeared at her door an hour later with 2 guards. "Lisa, we need to relocate your family for safety reasons," Krixnar said with a fake smile. Lisa looked at him for a long moment. Then she smiled back. But her smile was different, dangerous. "You know what's funny, Krix?" she said. "I just learned something today. Did you know that fertilizer and fuel can make very big explosions?" The alien's confidence started to crack. Across the galaxy, similar scenes were happening. Humans were asking questions, real questions. And when they didn't get good answers, they started to act. Dr. Sarah Kim on Titan Research Base had always trusted her alien colleagues. But after seeing the broadcast, she looked at her work with new eyes. She had been developing a new medicine that made humans sleep deeper. The aliens had said it was to help with space travel. Now she understood what it was really for. "Computer," she said quietly, "change the formula. Make it so the medicine doesn't work on humans, but will put aliens to sleep instead." "Dr. Kim, are you sure about this change?" "Very sure." On the asteroid mining station Belt 7, construction worker Tom Chen, no relation to Captain Sarah Chen, was having a talk with his alien foreman. "So, Zekra," Tom said, holding his heavy welding torch, "tell me about this mandatory health check tomorrow." "It's just routine, Tom, for your own safety." Tom nodded slowly. "You know what's not safe, Zach? Working with someone you can't trust." The alien looked around nervously. All the other human workers had stopped what they were doing and were watching. Their faces were calm, but their eyes were hard. "Tom, I think there's been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding," Tom said. "We understand perfectly now." The change wasn't just happening on colonies. Human ships throughout space started acting differently too. Captain Rodriguez of the cargo ship Lucky Star had been hauling supplies for the aliens for 2 years. After Sarah's broadcast, he decided to check what he was really carrying. What he found made his blood boil. Human personal items, clothes, toys, family photos, things that people would have with them when they were relocated. "Computer, change course," he ordered. "Captain, we have a delivery schedule. Change course to the nearest human colony. We're returning these items to their families." But it was the small things that scared the aliens most. Humans started watching them differently. The friendly smiles became cold stares. The eager cooperation became suspicious questioning. On New Geneva colony, alien administrator This Khan noticed that humans had stopped coming to him with problems. When he asked why, a human named David just looked at him and said, "We're solving our own problems now." "But I'm here to help." "No," David said simply. "You're not." The aliens began to realize they had made a terrible mistake. They had thought humans were just another weak species. Friendly, trusting, easy to control. They had forgotten to study human history. They didn't know about the wars humans had fought against each other. They didn't know about the times when humans had been pushed too far and fought back with everything they had. They didn't understand that humans had conquered their own world, not because they were the strongest, but because they were the most determined. Because when humans decided something needed to be done, they found a way to do it. And now, for the first time since joining the galactic community, humans had decided something needed to be done. The galaxy's communication network started buzzing with worried alien voices. The humans are acting strange. They're asking too many questions. They don't trust us anymore. What do we do? On the Galactic Council Station, emergency meetings were being called. For the first time in their history, the Council wasn't discussing how to control a species. They were discussing how to survive one. Because Sarah Chen's broadcast had done more than just warn humanity about the harvest. It had reminded them what they really were when their families were threatened. 3 months after Sarah's broadcast, the galaxy had changed forever. The aliens were about to learn what human wrath really meant. It started small. Alien ships began disappearing near human colonies. Not destroyed, just gone. When search teams found them, they were empty. The aliens inside had vanished without a trace. On the Galactic Council Station, High Counselor Vex Prime called an emergency meeting. His blue skin had turned pale with worry. "Report," he demanded. "Sir," his aide said nervously, "we've lost contact with 47 harvest facilities." "Lost contact?" "They're empty, sir. The humans who were being held there are gone, but so are our people who were running the facilities." Vex Prime's 3 eyes widened. "What do you mean, gone?" "We don't know, sir. There are no bodies, no signs of fighting. They just disappeared." What the Council didn't know was that humans had learned to work together in ways the aliens couldn't understand. Mining ships became rescue vessels. Research scientists became intelligence gatherers. Farmers became soldiers. Dr. Sarah Kim's modified sleeping medicine had spread to every human colony. Now, when aliens came for inspections, they fell asleep instead of their targets. Jake Roberts had turned his mining equipment into weapons. His plasma cutters could slice through alien ship hulls like butter. His drilling machines could crack open any alien facility. And Captain Sarah Chen? She had become something the galaxy had never seen before. A human who knew the truth and wasn't afraid to use it. She stood in the command center of a captured alien facility on Kepler 442. Around her, freed humans were working with cold efficiency. They had turned the Harvest Center into a rescue coordination base. "Status report," Sarah said. "Ma'am," said Tom Chen, the former mining worker. "We've located 37 more harvest facilities. Teams are moving to liberate them now. And the aliens running them?" Tom's face was hard. "They're being held for trial." Sarah nodded. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were being smart about it. Every alien involved in the harvest was being captured, not killed. Every facility was being documented. Every crime was being recorded. Because humans understood something the aliens didn't. This wasn't just about revenge. This was about justice, and justice meant making sure this never happened again. On the Council Station, panic was spreading. Reports were coming in from across the galaxy. The humans have taken the Rigel facility. They've freed everyone from the Vega processing center. They're demanding the return of all missing humans. High Counselor Vex Prime was shaking. "How is this possible? They're just one species. We have thousands of member races." His aide looked at the reports. "Sir, the other races? They're not helping us." "What?" "The Zalari say they want to stay neutral. The Makari have closed their borders. The Quillen are asking if the humans need any assistance." Vex Prime couldn't believe it. "They're afraid of the humans?" "Sir, everyone is afraid of the humans now." And they were right to be afraid. Because humans had shown the galaxy something it had never seen before. They had shown that when you threaten what humans love, they don't just fight back. They become something unstoppable. The final moment came when Sarah Chen walked into the Galactic Council chamber. She wasn't alone. Behind her came the leaders of every human colony, every human ship, every human settlement in the galaxy. But they weren't there to negotiate. They were there to deliver an ultimatum. "Members of the Galactic Council," Sarah said, her voice calm but cold as space itself. "You have committed crimes against humanity. You have stolen our people. You have sold them like animals. You have betrayed our trust." The alien councillors shifted nervously in their seats. Some tried to speak, but Sarah continued. "We have evidence of your crimes. We have rescued our people. We have captured your agents. And now we're here to tell you how things are going to work from now on." High Counselor Vex Prime found his voice. Captain Chen, surely we can discuss this peacefully. Sarah's eyes went cold. You lost the right to peace when you touched our children. She placed a datapad on the council table. These are our terms. Every human you've taken will be returned. Every facility you've built will be destroyed. Every alien involved will face trial. And you will pay for the damage you've done to our people. And if we refuse? Vex Prime asked weakly. Sarah smiled, but it wasn't a nice smile. Then you'll learn what humans do to species that hunt us. The council chamber was silent. Every alien there understood that everything had changed. Humans weren't the friendly, trusting species they used to be. They were something else now. Something that would protect their own with absolute determination. 6 months later, the last human prisoner was returned home. The harvest was over. The galaxy had learned its lesson. And Sarah Chen stood on the observation deck of Earth, watching ships full of freed humans come home. She thought about little Emma Wilson, who was back with her father now. She thought about all the children who were safe, because humans had remembered what they really were. The galaxy was peaceful again, but it was a different kind of peace now. It was the peace that comes when everyone understands the rules. And the most important rule was simple: never threaten what humans love. Because humans are kind and gentle until you touch their children. Then they become something else entirely.